What is going on, everybody, man? King Recon here. Welcome to the 25 days of Santa Recon series. I apologize about my voice, man. Yumi Neko, One Piece, and being an Eagles fan. It happens. It happens, but we're here, dog. We are here to talk about some awesome sauce, and specifically two sports anime that are really near and dear to my heart, man. One of them that I got into way earlier on this decade, and the other one that I got into towards the middle of the decade. One being a manga, one being the anime. And I'll tell y'all what, man, they are both really, really special. The second one is coming back in January, and I can't wait. I cannot wait, but it's gonna be so good. And just to be able to get back and experience that series once more, because I tried reviewing the manga, man, but it just wasn't the same for me. So I said, you know what, I'll wait. It's been a 3-year wait of waiting for the anime to come back, and we finally have the anime back for Haikyuu, dog. But I'll talk about that in a second. The first series I want to talk about is a manga that was really, really popular in the Big Three era, which is whenever I really got invested in searching and finding anime and manga online, especially since the two series I was really, really invested in were One Piece and Bleach. And so within that era, there was one football manga that was up there with those legends in Death Note and Naruto and Nana, like that. Those were the big things in that era. And there was one football series that was doing as well as them in the table of contents and in the sales, and that is Eyeshield 21, man. Now, my friend Chris, who was also the one that got me into Hitman Reborn, was the one that showed me Eyeshield 21 when he came over to my house one day back in high school and showed me a clip from the series. And I didn't end up checking it out for a couple years after that, which is why I'm talking about it here, because I checked it out in this very decade, man. Eyeshield 21 was one of the most inspirational morning workout manga that I have read. I had so much fun reading Eyeshield before I went to work or before I went to class, man. Yo, listen to me, dog. When I was reading Eyeshield, I would always read it in the morning, except for whenever I got really, really hyped. Like whenever there was a football or a game that was just absolutely insane, I would say, screw just the morning. I'm gonna read this entire thing whenever I get back, you know? Because there are some games that are 5-star classics in Eyeshield 21, man. I mean, yo, legit 5-star classics. They are phenomenal. They have you on the edge of your seat, like, what is going down? But I used to, whenever I first got into Eyeshield, just watch it in the morning because, or read it in the morning, because it was one of those manga that just got me hyped and ready to go in the day. Like, let's go, man. I'm ready to tackle whatever's in front of me, whatever obstacles in front of me. And it was a great morning workout manga. And that's how I've always described Eyeshield 21. Like, if you want to get hyped before your day starts, read some Eyeshield, man. Especially whenever you start getting into the later stuff in the manga, because it just gets so hyped and more characters are introduced, and the way that sports anime usually work, the farther you go down the tournaments, the more insane they get and the stronger the opponents get, so it becomes way more intense. You have no idea what's going to happen anymore. I mean, there are several games in Eyeshield where you have no idea who is going to win until the very end, and that's what I absolutely love about it, the unpredictability of it. And it's so good, it's so much fun, and the fact that it's a football manga, I really, really enjoy the sport of football. So the fact that there's actually a manga out there that represents the heart and soul of specifically the team aspect of it and certain parts of the game, because of course when it comes to most sports anime and manga, my favorite thing about it is how the characters progress through their journeys and progress through utilizing the sport itself, but because that sport exists, they were able to grow as people. You know, that's my favorite thing about sports anime and manga. But in this one in particular, I really enjoyed the way that he handled the sport itself, and it was really cool in the way that they were able to dissect and really talk about the game and the important aspects of the game, which is why I'm glad that Senna is a running back, because that is an extremely important position in football. Like, if you have a running game, if you can run the football, you're a dangerous team. And in Eyeshield 21, they really show that. They put a lot of emphasis on running the football. And it causes for some incredible scenes. Like, I know a really popular one is Kuroko no Basket. Eyeshield 21 has like some Kuroko no Basket moments where it seems like it's out of this world, like it's a superpower, or like or where Senna's just, he's going straight through, and then all of a sudden you see like it disappears, or like whenever he does a juke, he looks like a cyclone. Like, it's insane, the way that it does it and the way that it's drawn. It's out of this world, man. So it's really cool. If you have not read Eyeshield 21, I highly recommend it. Without question, one of my favorite sports manga, man. It's just so much fun. The ending of the series, I still have like my, I love it for nostalgia, but it's also like the reborn thing where I'm like, it could have ended better, at least for me. But aside from that, like, the journey up until that point is out of this world. Even, you know what? The final chapter is awesome. The final chapters, I think it's the stuff in between that leaves a bit of an aftertaste. But regardless, experience it for yourself. Experience it for yourself if you have not done so, and let me know how you think about it, because you're probably going to come to a different conclusion than I did. It's just that I guess there was such high quality content up until that point in time that whenever we got into a little bit of the final stages, I was like, man, what are we doing? But it picked it back up towards the end, and I really, really enjoyed it. But regardless, Eyeshield 21 greatness. I absolutely adore that series. And then, man, let's talk about Haikyuu, dog. Haikyuu is one of those series, like, it's like Hunter x Hunter, like a One Piece, like the Gintamas, in terms of when there's an announcement for these series, I get extremely hyped. When they announce Hunter x Hunter comes back like the old bathroom videos, I would talk about it in the bathroom. When they announced Haikyuu season 3, I talked about it in the bathroom at work, man. That's just the way it works, dog. Bro, it's Haikyuu. And the fact that I'm anime only for this makes it that much more awesome, because there's all this anticipation behind it, and there's all of this dodging spoilers on a weekly basis, which I have to thank manga readers for not dropping as many spoilers as like other series do. And if they do, then I just don't see them, thank God. But the manga community has actually been very, very solid, and they've been very good with not spoiling, at least for me, man. And I definitely do appreciate y'all, because I have a lot of friends who are into Haikyuu, and the fact that all of them keep it to themselves that means a lot to me, man, because I'm gonna be able to go into it blind and see 100% what is gonna go down in Haikyuu here in the next season. And I think after the next season, I'm just gonna say screw it and catch up to the manga, because I don't think I can take it anymore, man. You know, Haikyuu is one of those series that I really, really, really enjoy, and the fact that I'm not able to have it a lot, man, it hurts, bro. I'm like, dang it, man. Like so many times in the past 3 years I've almost broke, but this year was the hardest. This year was really the hardest, man. With people telling me that the stuff going down in Haikyuu is like on the same level as like a Slam Dunk or an Ippo, and I'm like, God Almighty, bro, I want to see what's going down. You know, Haikyuu's so goat, bro. It also like Eyeshield has just that camaraderie aspect and the individual characters. You know, I think in Eyeshield, I prefer, and I say this, but people tell me that I've read both, that the matches that have happened in the manga are better than the ones that happen in Eyeshield. But for me, just as an anime watcher, I prefer the matches in terms of the intensity in Eyeshield, but I prefer the characterization and the overall character arcs in Haikyuu 110%, which is why I slightly prefer Haikyuu over Eyeshield. Because the characters in Haikyuu, whenever you see their journeys and see who they become, because this sport exists and because they met each other, it's just such a beautiful journey, bro. I mean, all of their stories and the way that it comes into fruition, their character arcs, just, you see them blooming within a match, and you're just like, this is so good. It's out of this world. And then my favorite character in the series, Oikawa, one of the most relatable characters, man. And he is such an incredible piece to this series, and I think that's what makes the series so special, is that it has so many of those types of characters that can really make you invest in certain moments and things that happen in the series and with the different teams and whatnot. But that it has such a strong main cast. Yeah, the Haikyuu does that. God, dog. I can't wait for it to come back. I want it to come back, man. I need it in my life again. But yeah, man, Haikyuu. It just I also share same sentiments with Eyeshield, that whenever I'm watching Haikyuu, dog, I just want to run a marathon, man. Like, yo, let's go play some volleyball, dog. Let's just do something. it was just something a lot of sports anime have. But Haikyuu, man, I miss it. I miss it a lot, and I can't wait for it to come back with the Hinata greatness, Kageyama, dog, Nishinoya, Suki. I can't wait, dog. Sugawara, dog, like, can't wait, man. Daya, like, I miss these dudes, bro. I miss them so much. And the fact that I've had to rely on rewatching and rewatching and rewatching. Because the thing is, at the very least, with Eyeshield, I know it's completed. With Haikyuu, I know there's a plethora of manga still left that the anime hasn't covered. So I'm like, man, I need it in my soul again, dude. So I can't wait for Haikyuu to come back so that we can get into the greatness and get into the awesome sauce and finally dive back into it, man. But once again, if you have not checked out either Haikyuu or Eyeshield, please do. Please do, man. Both really fun series, both great in their own ways. And they will keep you invested as long as you're into this series. I can guarantee it, at least when it comes to the Eyeshield manga and the Haikyuu anime, because those are the ones that I can speak for. And I highly recommend both of them, man. And they are both two experiences that I absolutely adored within this decade, which is why I decided to talk about in the 12 Days of Santa Recon series, man. Thank y'all so much for watching. Have an awesome day. Let me know how y'all feel about these two series. I'm gonna go take care of my throat, man, so that I can come back tomorrow and watch some Chihaya Food of Greatness. So I will see y'all next time. Have an awesome day. Haikyuu and Eyeshield, awesome sauce, son.